Well, if you thought puberty blockers and child mutilation were done in 2023, what? Oh, my friends, you're sadly mistaken.
What the fuck?
We go to the UK.
It's a no for me, dog.
Where hundreds of kids under the age of 6 were sent to a disgraced NHS trans mental clinic.
What the fuck?
If you thought it was over,
because you're wrong, okay? So shut up.
it's not.
Fuck.
I'm Jazz Borganzo, and this
That is true.
is What's Next. What's up, everyone? Jazz Borganzo, What's Next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Thursday. Well, as we are hitting the very edge of 2023, sadly, this year has been about stupidity, nonsense, shenanigans, garbage, and trash. Just pick any story. But one of the biggest stories that have stood out, and the continuous ones, on the destruction of our children. Between puberty blockers, child mutilation, and, quote, child-affirming care, that has been pretty much, you could say, the theme of 2023. And if you thought that the stories were over, no, my friends, they're not. We take a trip back to Groomerville, and here we go. This comes out of Breitbart. 73. 3 and 4-year-olds, hundreds of children under 6 sent to disgraced NHS trans mental clinic. Yes, because of course they are. Children as young as 3 years old have been referred to Britain's Socialized Medicine's Gender Identity Development Center trans mental clinic, with hundreds of young children referred in the past decade. 382 children. Wow. Age 6 and under have been referred to the Gender Identity Development Services, GIDS, at the Tavistock and Portman Trust, known as commonly as the National Health Services Trans Mental Clinic, in the past decade, new figures from the trust reveal. The numbers published by the Daily Mail reveal how even the youngest children have been pushed into interacting with the controversial clinic, and that the numbers being referred to, GIDS, have soared in recent years. Gee, I wonder why, because, yeah. The clinic, which has no official younger age limit to those who will see, has had 12 3-year-olds referred to it between 2010 and 2020, as well as 61 4-year-olds, 140 5-year-olds, and 169 6-year-olds. The number of young people being sent to GIDS year on year shows how quickly the concept is spreading, with 136 referrals in 2010 to 11 to 3,585 a decade later. By 2021. Wow, that is just truly fucked up. And has been previously reported that the clinic treated some 19,000 children of all ages in the past 25 years. So this whole transmentalism hasn't just started in the last 2 or 3 years with Bruce Jenner. This goes back a lot further. Left-wing Guardian amidst horrifying book detailing trans kids' practices, reads like a dystopian novel, and that was out of Breitbart London. And that was February of this year. The Daily Mail also reports that it has cited the Tavistock's clinic own attempt to defend the figures. Defend the figures. Yeah. Insisting that while accept referrals to 3-year-olds, it didn't actually perform what is euphemistically called treatment of the infants. Instead, it was staff normal hold on a one-off discussion with parents to carers or carers to provide support and advice. We were just talking to the parents. We were just talking to the kiddies. That's all we were doing. We weren't shoving puberty blockers down their throats and telling them to lop off their balls and cut off their breasts. Hold on there. The Tavistock Trust Gender Clinic was supposed to be shut down in disgrace after news of what actually happened to children became public knowledge, thanks to whistleblowers. The service was found to be inadequate, and that some patients were referred to as gender transitioning pathway too quickly. Again, shocker, with some children put on puberty blockers just after one consultation. Recall anyone? The Association of Clinic Psychologists in UK have said shutting down the clinic was precipitated by the number of systematic failings, including having to approach with a predominantly affirmative rather than exploratory. In reality, the closures of this clinic have been delayed at least a year by the NHS, wants to set up more trans clinics to replace it. Yes, let's pause it so we can open more death camps. Over 1,000 families have been reported to be launching legal actions against the clinic for misdiagnosing their children and in many cases allegedly causing enormous harm, including teenagers having body parts cut off. Again, shocker. Not safe. UK Health Service Clinic shuts down Tavistock, infamous for child trans treatments. This doesn't just happen in the United States. This is happening worldwide. And the fact of the matter is there are a lot of stories like this that have been buried pretty much for the past year because of so many other trans mental issues. You know, you got drag queens running around in Texas, Storytime Hour. You got how many number of hospitals in this country who have been sought out by transmentalism, who were found out they were doing trans bullshit and have been forced to shut down. Thank you, Matt Walsh in Tennessee. But in the UK, last 25 years, this shit's been going on at the NHS. 25 years of child destruction, of child mutilation, of child basically almost like a disembowelment. When you are giving puberty blockers, you're affirming their mental issues, but you're not calling it a mental issue. It's just a change of life, parents. When you have innocent parents, a lot of them are innocent parents who are coming in, who see their child acting in a different way than the quote, the norm, all of a sudden they start panicking, especially over the last decade. Why? Because of the media and social media, the politics. When you have TV shows, movies, basically saying this is normal now. If your little boy wants to play with Barbies, you know, and your little girl wants to play with Tonka trunks, oh well. The fact of the matter is that they're in the wrong body. And sadly, we're going to have to cut off his balls and taper her breasts. Parents need to keep their eyes open and their ears open regarding this, because the media has tamped this down. When was the last big story that has come out regarding child mutilation? September? October? November? When was the last major story to hit until this story? Now, will you see this on the on your legacy media, MSNBC, the cucks over at CNN, NBC, ABC, CBS? No. I won't say no. On Fox, yeah, you'll see it. You'll see it on Fox. But that's it. The only ones who are going to be reporting this are those like Breitbart and other digital media news outlets. And of course, those who are podcasting and those who are doing videos like what I'm doing. Because voices need to be heard. Stories like this cannot be continually be buried just because we're at the end of 2023 and you think if it's over. No, my friends, in 24, they're just going to gear the fuck up and do it more. Why? Because it's election year. And of course, transmentalism, well, they're the victims and you're the bigot. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Borgonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please have a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it, hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.